Hey YouTube, this is Orion making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. This is a little bit of a different video I'm making today. As anyone who knows me, I really enjoy making kits. I've got plenty of kits. I've got all bobs, bug out bags. Also have get out dodge bags, get home bags, all sorts of different ones, EDC kits, car bags. I've got all sorts of kits. I really enjoy making them. I find it a bit cathartic. I like all little bits and pieces, putting all in different types of kits. Well, anyway, I saw on YouTube the other day about the Pathfinder Basics course. Well, I'm probably never going to get over to America unless I win lotto. And I've always been a fan of Dave Canterbury. I know he cops a lot of shit about certain things that he's said that he's done and probably hasn't done and whatever. Anyway, he's manned up and apologised for a lot of the stuff that he's said. And I respect him even more for doing that. And anyway, the Pathfinder course seems to me to be a pretty good course. A lot of useful information, mainly geared towards American stuff. Fair enough. Some of it probably not so useful here in Australia. A lot of different stuff over in Australia, from America to Australia, can't be bought over here. I also like the 5Cs and 10Cs. Again, some of it not so useful. Their focus on fire. While I am a pyromaniac, I do like fire. I do like the ability to be able to make fire and all that. That's fine, but they're also the focus on thermal regulation. In Brisbane here, in Queensland, a lot of the time you do not have to be able to regulate your temperature as far as the cold goes. It doesn't get that cold. Even in winter, it rarely gets under 10 degrees Celsius. So, and in summer, you don't want fires, basically, except to boil water to make it potable. And if it's 35 degrees Celsius and 100% humidity, you don't want a fire around. All it's doing is making your situation worse. At night, fair enough, have a fire. It's always good to have fire at night. The Aboriginals here in Australia, did use fire a lot for clearing land. They hunted with fire, so they'd set tracts of bush on fire. They'd clear the land out. A lot of animals would get burnt to death in the fires, and then they'd go and basically get semi-cooked or cooked animals after the fire had gone through. A lot of our native trees get germinated through fire, so they've adapted as evolution has, over the course of millions of years, has adapted to fire. A lot of our trees have adapted to germinate through fire. So anyway, the 5Cs and the 10Cs seems to be very fire orientated and seems to be a lot on thermal regulation. So there's a lot of cover and whatnot. Anyway, long story short, their Pathfinder basic course has a suggested list of gear that they said that you should take if you're going to go and do this course? Well, I thought to myself, well, I'll never probably go over to that course, so why don't I make up a kit as if I was going to go over there? I'll never go over there, but it's still a good exercise. So I did. I've got enough gear in my house here, probably make 15 of these kits. But anyway, I did find I did have to buy a couple of items. I didn't want to have to pull apart kits and then destroy some kits to make this kit up. So I did end up having to buy bits and pieces of kit, a couple of pieces of items. But anyway, I'll start up the top. First lot's basically the basic Pathfinder Basics course is an expansion on the 10Cs. If you look up Dave Canterbury's 10Cs, you'll know. Anyone who knows Dave Canterbury has the 5Cs and the 10Cs. I've written it all out here, and I've expanded, written out exactly what I've added to the kit. So I'll go through it as I've done. Containers. I've got a haversack here. It's the canvas. It's the canvas kit. Canvas haversack that holds my thing. He didn't actually suggest this one. I like these ones. They're the messenger bag canvas haversacks. I can't fit it in frame. Sorry, mate. Sorry. This one's got, it's a little bit larger one. It's got the two, and it fits the kit really well. I've adapted that. I put that in. All of it goes in there. He did suggest a dry bag. I think he said the 10 litre. I didn't think it was going to be big enough. I bought a 20 litre one. I just bought them off eBay. I actually did buy these ones. I don't have any of these. I don't do a lot of kayaking. Not a real big kayaker or any of that sort of thing. I like these. Good solid piece of kit. Going to buy more of them. I don't know. I can't remember how much I paid for them. It wasn't. They're not expensive. I think they're under $20. But anyway, I bought a dry bag. All of this will fit in there, no dramas. So you just, I just wrap it up, and I have that basically in the top. I just put it in the top of the haversack, put it over the top, and then the whole kit is contained in the top there. So that's the whole kit contained except for the knives, which I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, that's the containers. Next one's cutting tools. He suggested, as you know, good bushcrafting knives. Mora Bushcrafting 2010. Enough said about that. Perfect example. This one doesn't exactly fit his criteria because it doesn't have a full tang. My IronBark Bushcrafter does have a full tang. High carbon steel, nice sharp edge, perfectly suits it. It's a bit flashy, but I'd be quite happy to take that. I'd probably take both of them. Fully covered for bushcrafting with those two knives. Well and truly, no dramas, covered for knives for his course. He also suggested an axe, Granford's Brooks small forest axe. Probably the wildlife hatchet probably would be a little bit better, but I like this size axe. This is the one I'd go with. This would be the one I'd take. He also suggested a saw. I'm not into buying the Backos. They are a brilliant saw. They also are about 5 times as expensive as this one. This one's just a cheap one I bought about 10 years ago. It locks, it cuts. I just bought it from a hardware store. It works fine. I've had no dramas with it. Really works really well. Entirely happy with it. I like it. It works for me, and I can't see why I wouldn't take it. Good saw. Works for me. They also suggest a multi-tool. I've got other full-size ones, but that's what's in my pocket. My Leatherman Wingman. It's got the bare minimum tools on it. Also, again, it works for me, and the only thing it doesn't have is the awl. He does seem to favour an awl too, and I do like them. Got to get this moving along, otherwise it's going to be like a 30-minute one. Sorry for banging the camera then. This is where he goes really silly with the fire kits. It's not silly, but he gets really excited about fire. It's extensive. He suggests lighters. I've got a clipper, which I put in there. I prefer these ones, the torch lighters. Works for me again. I prefer this over a clipper or a Bic lighters. A lot better. It has a lot more options. Refillable. Better option for me. I always carry a little bit of paracord in my fire kits anyway for bow drill, just to facilitate that. Jute twine, always carry it just to make sure. Jute fibre. Good mate of mine gave me a big heap of it. I've got like a bag full of it. So why not carry a bit of tinder with you? I won't open it up. That's my flint and steel kit. It's got flint, steel, bearing block in it for bow drill. Again, that's my traditional kit. He wants, in his fire kits, he wants both ferro rod and traditional. That's a candle wrapped up. Again, jute twine wrapped up in a bit of denim just to make sure it stays a little bit better. But candle for fire extender. Bit of fat wood, a couple of fat wood sticks. Char cloth. Fresnel lens. And had my wife make up. She's really good for me. Good to me. Magnifying glass. I got these off eBay. Cost me about $9. Really, really good one. This one's, I think, about 5 power. Really powerful. Starts char cloth in about half a second. As a lot better than Fresnel lenses, while they're good, these ones are excellent. Just I keep them wrapped up in a bit of that there, and put it in the little baggie just to make sure that it doesn't get scratched. So that I've always got a couple of magnifying glasses. I love magnifying glasses. I live in the Sunshine State in Queensland. Obviously, they don't call it the Sunshine State for a silly reason. Lots of sun. I prefer it actually. I prefer the Fresnel lenses to to flint and steel. Punkwood, charred material, and then that's my tinderbox. If I ever need to make char cloth again, I haven't burned it yet. I haven't put it in the in the fire yet. I would punch a hole in it if I had to do that. Always a bit of alfoil. It always comes in handy. I've showed you this before. This is my ferro rod with my Corona tool sharpener, striker, pocket bellows, magnesium rod, tinder, which is petroleum jelly, cotton wool rubbed. I've added a peanut lighter into it since then, all wrapped up with Ranger bands on it so that I can use them too. This is way over the top. You don't need all this, but he seems to go really silly with, like, over the top with all his, he wants a heap of fire, so I did. I just followed. Stormproof matches. I like the Chinese ones. The Titan ones are really, really expensive. They're like $20 for a packet of 8. I get the Chinese ones that are at $2 or $1 a packet. They just burn longer. They're not very windproof. Really good pencil sharpener. I paid way too much money for it. I think it was $26 for a $2 sharpener. But anyway, it's German made. Sharpens a pencil really well, but it's for twigs. You put it in and you can get shavings of it really well. Bit of a gimmick, but I like it. Easy to make shavings really well. Bit of Surefire, the little lucifers. I love these. Again, buy them in packets of 50. I think they're about $5 or $10. You can actually strike the ferro rod straight onto them. They will start fires. It's Surefire. About some of the best I've found. Non-toxic apparently. But anyway, that's my fire kit. He also recommends that you get sail needles. I've got a sail needle, and have a look at that beauty. That's an upholstery needle. It's even better than the sail needles as far as I'm concerned. It's got the really big eyes, so I just slipped it in there. So anyway, and I put a bandana in there as well. So if I ever have to make more char cloth, I've got char cloth there, 100% denim anyway. Bit more char cloth there if I need to. I don't like the idea of having to chop up these up for making char cloth, but I would if I had to. But I've got a little bit there. Anyway, really cheap compass. Don't know if I'd trust it, but it's there. And a whistle. Whistles are really good out in the bush. Saves your breath. You just put them in your mouth and just as you're going along, just keep blowing through them as you're walking. Just a cheap pack I got from the markets. It's all there. Anyway, I better move this right along. Ended up buying this one. That's new compass. It's got the magnifying glass. It's suited for, calibrated for Southern Hemisphere. I live in the Southern Hemisphere. Again, just got the wife to stitch up a thing. I put a little bit of packing thing for posting stuff in there just to give it a little bit more a little bit more protection. Again, a little bit more denim there, so if I ever need cotton, I got more there. That's headlamp. Again, jute twine, more denim. He recommends two. There's the batteries, spare batteries for the headlight. He recommends two things of duct tape. I just got the normal duct tape, and then I got onto this stuff. T-Rex. Apparently it's ferociously strong. Haven't tried it yet. Really expensive. So I'm a bit scared to try it out. I don't want to burn the tape up. But anyway, I will. I'm going to buy some more, so I want to try it out because apparently it's really good. Two more bandanas. He wants bandanas just in case you need to make char cloth, plus use it for filtering. He likes steel wool for making fires and other uses. I'm going to have to rewatch the thing for the more uses for this, but there it is. Two more emergency blankets. Bankline, number 36, whole roll of it. He suggested a 32 ounce cup. That's a 32 ounce canteen, stainless steel one. I don't like the aluminium ones. So I went and got a stainless steel one with the cup, so I can boil water in there. Take the lid off it if I had to. I could boil water in there if I had to. As long as it's got the plastic. This plastic will melt, obviously, but not a bad one. Didn't cost me a lot of money either. So always on the lookout for these ones. I like these stainless steel ones rather than the aluminium ones. Two lots of paracord. And then I've just got a tarp and a ground sheet and a couple of bin liners. He recommended the 30, what was it? There was the big bin liners for 44 gallon drum bin liners or whatever. I looked them up. They were really expensive to buy them, and I went to Bunnings. I forgot to look at them while I at Bunnings. Anyway, these ones are heavy duty bin liners for. I think they're for the wheelie bins here in Australia. But he also recommended 100% cotton, 100% wool blankets. That was what I disagreed with in Australia. In Brisbane, I don't need to have, for most of the time, I don't need to have a wool blanket because it's bloody hot most of the time and I just don't need it. So I went more with tarps, so keep the sun off you. And I went a little bit silly with the ground sheets and the emergency blankets. So it was more of that stuff rather than the wool blanket. But I probably would put a wool blanket in there. I've got wool blankets here that I could take if I ever wanted to do it. But that's just my Pathfinder Basics kit, and that's what I'd turn up with. You know, it's a fun exercise. I enjoy doing this sort of thing, and I covered all the bases. There was nothing that from his video that I missed, and yeah, so I built it. I hope this is an interesting kit. Comments are always welcome, even the negative ones. Just don't be a dick. I'll delete it. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching.